Houston, we have liftoff. What are your thoughts? There's a lot going on
Do we
here.
though? Do we have liftoff if you're Houston? I'm sorry for all you Houston fans that clicked on this video and thought we were
Look, I
looking to
love
hear some good
Houston.
stuff about Houston. Houston, I love that school. The potential is there. Absolutely.
All right, okay. We're gonna play this. Houston fans, if you're listening to this, CD, you're gonna deliver the bad news, okay? And I'll do my best to deliver good news. How about that?
Yeah. So stick around for the good news. But for the bad news right now, you lose Clayton Tune, you lose Tank Dell, and you lose Alden McCaskill, right, to Colorado. Those are three devastating losses. Now, Alden McCaskill didn't really produce last year. He was hurt, whatever. But he was going to be the focal point of the offense, trying to replace Tank Dell, who was unguardable and who was your entire offense of the passing game. And then Clayton Tune, who was thrown it to him, was also your leading rusher as well with 500 more on the ground. Tank Dell had 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns. I mean, who's going to replace him? You got Donovan Smith right on the screen from Texas Tech. And then Tony Mathis and some others coming in from Tony Mathis coming in from West Virginia. Stacey Sneed's back for another year. And then Matthew Golden's a guy that they like. And I like him too. Right. If you want to talk about a little bit of good news, Matthew Golden's a good player. Samuel Brown's a good player as well. Steven Johnson comes in from Oklahoma State. Joshua Cobbs from Wyoming. Cobb's kind of had a really nice, camp so far. They're pretty high on him. Jonah Wilson as well, some young guys. Jenkins, some freshmen that they're pretty high on as well. But yeah, the O line is really the tough mark. They're bringing 7 transfers or something like that. Paul Patrick right at left tackle, pretty damn good. But everywhere else,
Paul. Yeah.
I'm sorry, dyslexia today.
Paul, Patrick. There it is.
Yes, exactly. Jack Freeman, but everyone else they're kind of rebuilding, and so when Dana Holgorsen took over, they did not have, big O linemen, and so they've been kind of retooling that, and to be able to play in the Power 5 level, they're not deep enough, but they're still they're getting there, right? They're getting there. Maybe not this year, but next year as well. The another bad part I talk about bad news though is the defense. Where last year was supposed to be a step up defensively, and you gave up 32 points a game. I mean, yikes. It ended up pretty bad. You lose your top 5 tacklers and two pass rushers from that. So we'll see. Matthew, if you want to talk about some good news, I'm sure Houston fans would love to hear that right now.
Yeah. Good news. Dana Holgorsen is gone after this season. That's just what it's gonna be. That is, and Houston, that's good news. That's good news. But no, realistically, like last year, injuries got you on defense a little bit, right? Injuries got you a little bit, right? Derek Parrish, that was brutal. He won the 7th round, right? He won the 7th round on the Jags. He had 4 sacks against Texas Tech, in that one game. Gosh, and then he went down. That was brutal, right? Because last year they'd returned more sacks on their D line than any other team in the country. That's why everyone was really high on this defensive line. Derek Parrish goes down. Maybe things don't go their way so much. They're still okay in the run game defensively. That defensive front was fine, right? Maybe it wasn't as elite as you wanted it, but so DeAnthony Jones is a big loss, but maybe David Ogwegbu, he might be a guy that they got in the portal, and he might be a stud. Look, I know Ish Harris got dismissed from the team, but that's good news. As a Texas A&M fan, I'm telling you, Houston fans, that's good news. It'll be okay. The secondary, it was bad last year, but guess what? Dana Holgorsen, he knew that. He very much knew that, and he went and got a bunch of guys in the secondary. Some of them who I might be really good. I'm familiar with Brian George, really long and athletic. I definitely had some questions when I would watch him, but I don't know. It was his first year out of JUCO, right? So, when he was really getting playing time, right? And then he kind of got benched this past year, right? Which led to the transfer. But when he was really getting playing time, it was his first year out of JUCO. He's still pretty raw. So now he's here, redshirt senior.
Well, and he doesn't have to start for him either, right? Alex Hogan comes back. Isaiah Hamilton's a good pickup in the offseason. They got some guys there as well.
Yeah. So, and a lot of these guys look, and what's nice too, good news, the schedule dynamic is not so terrible either, right? UTSA getting them at home it's a big deal. You Houston fans know that you would not be favored on a neutral field if, well, you're not favored right now, but it would certainly be over a field goal if you guys were playing at UTSA, in San Antonio. But Rice, of course, let's not lose to Rice. All right, chew your
Can't lose the
food.
food. Josh Pate. Come on now.
Josh Pate, let's chew your food. Okay. Sam Houston State, that can be a win. So right. So if you win 3 of those games, there's a chance you're 3-1 headed into Texas Tech. That's a legit chance. And then eventually, then off the bye, you get West Virginia at home. That's a big game you get at home. Cincinnati, you get at home. Right. So like there's a legit chance, like 4.5, like feels like a pretty low number to a lot of people, I think. I think there's a lot of people that are willing to take that over. Not me. To end on a bad note, I am leaning under. I am leaning on you. I'm sorry. What is it for you?
Yeah, I think 4.5 is actually a great line. To be honest, I lean. I think if they could win 4.5 games, they would. I think they're gonna win somewhere between 4 and 5. No, it's not very insightful of me to say, but yeah, I think if they win a bowl game, if they make a bowl game, I'd be very surprised, and I think Dana Holgorsen deserves a ton of credit for that.
That would be
Replacing
crazy.
all that they have to replace.
That would be crazy. But look, I'm a huge Houston fan, and I think that they deserve way better than they have, and they should be in a Power 5 conference. This is a school that should be in a Power 5 conference. You basketball fans, of course, are insanely happy about that, but football fans, you deserve better. I know, and it's going to come. It's just, it might not come this year, but it will
It
come
will.
eventually. But look, Donovan Smith's not terrible. He's played in the Big 12 before. So